In my very first video, I explained that I left Mormonism when I was 19 years old and pursued Zen Buddhism. Today, I'd love to explore some of the factors that led me into Zen Buddhism and parallel those with many of the young men that are seeking for something different in their Christianity. I would say the very first factor that led me into Zen was a true desperation. I had a zeal and an aim for something more serious, something that I could dive into. I knew that Zen and Zazen were definitely hard work. This isn't some easy, grace-filled approach. I was desperate enough to look for something hard. In fact, I had a true zeal. I was just looking for the aim of where I could aim that zeal. I wanted to be serious, and I knew that Zen and Zazen were very hard. In fact, I was looking for hard. I didn't have the boot camp experience, and I was looking for something that would truly stretch me, something that I could trust and lean into and give everything I had. And enlightenment was this idea, this elusive goal for me that I would somehow get it, and then I could go on with the rest of my life. But I needed some solution, something that transcended my normal life. And Zazen sitting, seemed to be the approach. It was during these silent retreats that I truly did gain a sense of wonder. Not only did I have religious experiences, but I was able to be touched by my own emotions, a new sensitivity and compassion for those around me, as well as when I walk and see nature and observe the smallest and simplest things of nature. All of that, I was deeply affected by my practice of Zen Buddhism. And Zen was definitely authentic. In fact, it had the history I was looking for. It had an authenticity passed from generation to generation. These men were serious. They worked hard. They sought after great teachers. And that I was looking for someone I could trust as a great teacher. And it emphasized actual experience, religious experience. It wasn't just blind faith, but we could tangibly experience enlightenment in this life, not waiting until the next life. Additionally, Zen really emphasized the transcendence of duality. I was looking for something that was beyond my own rationality, my own mind. How can I get outside of myself? The practice of the silence in the meditation, the use of koans that were used as word puzzles, the emphasis on impermanence, and the ability to be in the moment. And of course, Zen was a great influence in America in intellectual life. Beginning in the 50s and 60s, people like Thomas Merton, of course, famous pop culture interpreters such as Alan Watts, but great thinkers and philosophers like D.T. Suzuki, and many great Japanese Zen teachers arrived in America and made a profound influence on America. Now, this parallels many of those young men today. As we know, many young men at this time are actually desperate and yearning to express their zeal. They have zeal and they need a target. Many of them are looking for training. They want something hard. In fact, that athletic inclination is very much running deep within them. And they're looking for relief from their suffering and the lack of moral leadership. What is out there that will transcend them out of their lives? And at the same time, the West, with its religious confusion, in a culture with a Christianity that's oftentimes at war with itself, where do we turn? Whom do we trust? And we're also worn out by rationality, by science, by the lack of a sacramental reality, and the lack of respect for the sacred. We want something that we can truly latch on as sacred, and also ancient, historical, something that's truly serious and difficult. And we don't want these pre-made answers that have been given to us from institutions. We want true and authentic teachers, not hypocrites. And we truly are looking for beauty and meaning, for story and mythos, something that transcends mundane reality. And yes, we do want religious experience and not just blind faith. Yes, men today, just like me, are looking for an authentic Christian experience. This has been Christopher with Christ Revisited.